Hello, this is Lauren Younger at the University of Dallas Library. Today we're going to take a look at the database ATLA. ATLA Religion Database comes from the American Theological Library Association, and it includes journal articles and book reviews and collections of essays in all fields of religion. We're going to go ahead and head there now. Navigate to udallas.edu/library. And once you're there, you can scroll down and you'll find ATLA in the drop-down menu of databases under Quick Links, as well as under the A's in the full list of databases. You'll see a login screen if you are accessing the database from home, and your login is your UD network ID and password. You're going to go ahead and put that in here. It's the same way that you log into the Wi-Fi on campus. After you log in, you should see an interface that looks like this. You might be familiar with other EBSCO databases that look the same way. ATLA has some great tools that other EBSCO databases don't that are going to be specifically helpful for scripture research. And we're going to take a look at those first. If you click on the word scriptures up in your toolbar, you're going to go to a page where the books of the Bible are listed. And to input a specific scripture or a range of scriptures in your search box, all you need to do is click on the word expand next to that book of the Bible. I'm using Judges as an example. Let's try Judges 7 and verse 7. And just like that, I've added a scripture range search into my search box. A scripture range is going to search anything that has that scripture as part of the citation. And a scripture citation search, which I'm going to show you next, would just search for that exact scripture and not for the entire range. So SR again stands for scripture range. SC will stand for scripture citation. If I wanted to search for a scripture citation instead, I could simply change this to SC, or I could type my scripture into the box and choose scripture citation from this drop-down menu. Either way is fine, you should get the same results. And here, once again, I'm returning things specifically about John 3:16, not that included in a range of perhaps chapters on John. What I'd like to show you is the thesaurus. If you click on thesaurus, it's going to take you to a screen with your search box you were using for your database, but also a second search box, and that's the search box that we're going to use. You can search for any term that you're working on. I'm going to use fire as an example, F-I-R-E, and I'm going to click Browse. And I'm going to see a list of terms related to fire, and then the way that those terms are broken down and indexed in this specific database. If I click on Explode next to any term and then Add, that's going to add that term to my search box, as well as any similar terms that pop up in the thesaurus that perhaps I might not have thought of. So in this case, it's included fire, my original term, but also candles and lights, which I had not thought of. The DE stands for author supplied keyword, but all you need to know is that it's going to take care of the formatting for you. We can just hit search, and then we'll pull up results about fire or about candles and lights, either way. What I'd like to show you is the publications feature. If we click on publications, you can enter in the name of a specific journal that you're familiar with or that you've heard from a professor is a good resource. So let's try the Journal of Theological Studies. And you can hit enter or again click on browse. So I see here we have access to the Journal of Theological Studies beginning in 1949. Click on the title, which is hyperlinked. I'm going to be taken to a page that gives me access to that journal by year and then by volume and by issue. Clicking on New Search is going to take me back to the ATLA database away from the periodicals. And I'd just like to show you one more example search. As a quick reminder, you have connectors between these search fields. We call those Boolean operators, and they are and, or, and not. And those will allow you to link terms and either broaden or limit your search. So and limits your search because you're asking the database to return items about both the topics you enter, or is going to broaden your search because you're giving the database the option, I can return information about the Psalms or about water imagery, but it doesn't have to be both. And not is useful when you are getting too many results about a topic that is perhaps adjacent to yours, but not exactly on point. So keep in mind you can use those. You can also use the drop-down field here, and that can be helpful in narrowing down what you're searching for if you do know specifically what you want. So I'm just going to try Psalms and water imagery as my example. And I'm going to hit search. Because I used and as a connector, I am limiting my search to things about both of those topics. And one little trick I would like to show you in closing is if you have an article that seems to be on topic, let's say this one, subjugation of the waters motif in the Psalms, you can open up the information about that article by clicking on the title. And if you scroll down, you will see under subjects some hyperlinked terms. And these can be really helpful. If I click on water in the Bible, it's going to take me to all the material in the ATLA database related to water in the Bible. Perhaps I didn't know that that's a phrase that would be used in this database, but by clicking on water in the Bible, I'm taken to a whole new list of sources on that topic. So don't be afraid to start with an article that you know is on point and to look at the metadata surrounding that article to help you find more. This was just a quick introduction into using the ATLA Religion Database, but please reach out to a librarian if you have questions or if you'd like a one-on-one instruction session, and we would really be glad to help. You can email the library reference desk at reference@udallas.edu. You can call us at 972-721-5315 or text 972-325-5336.